And here's where the nonsense begins, baby. Let's go. We put 2 counters on every creature, and we get 2 loyalty on Elspeth every single turn. GG. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New Cappena dropped a brand new Elspeth Planeswalker, and if you guys don't know this about me, Elspeth is one of my absolute favorite Planeswalkers of all time, and this new Elspeth did not disappoint because we built an entire deck around her today, and we focused on her 2 primary loyalty abilities. And today's deck might be the most expensive deck I've ever made as far as wild cards go, but it absolutely paid itself off because we went nearly undefeated with this build today, and I can't wait to break this thing down. But before I do, as always, if you are new here and you find any value in today's video, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, it is a free way to help support the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, guys, before I get harped on and jump into this video about how expensive this deck is, I get it. A lot of these decks that I make are very expensive, but I'm doing some really wild, janky things most of the time. And other times I'm just focused on building the best deck possible for you guys. And I don't want to compromise the expense of the deck because I want to throw in a few uncommons and commons in the deck when it could perform a lot better when there's much better cards to be played. I don't build decks even looking at the, the rarity of the cards. I just build around the synergies and what helps the deck the most. And after I'm done, I realize I ended up with this, and I go, wow, there's only 1 uncommon and the rest are rares and higher. So my apologies, but this deck is amazing. If you can build this thing, it's pretty awesome. And so let me tell you how it works. Elspeth is the card of focus. So I wanted to build a deck with Elspeth in it today, and I focused on the -3 of loyalty on this card. And what that says is I get to look at the top 7 cards in my library and go find a permanent with mana value 3 or less, put it onto the battlefield with a shield counter, which is pretty sweet. So already it gets some really good value with the -3, putting it at 2 loyalty. And there are some really good 3 drops that we're going to talk about here in a minute. But let's focus on the keyword shield counter. If you guys don't know, BANT as the mob family in here, it focuses a lot on shield counters and counters in general. So we did land on BANT today because it synergizes probably the best with Elspeth. Also, the +1 ability gives 1/1 counters and other counters like lifelink, flying, first strike, and all that good stuff. So this is the shell we ended up with. So I went ahead and kicked things off with the Hopeful Initiate, which is a training mechanic, as well as Torrens. Both of these are training mechanics, and they work really well because we're going to focus on the 1/1 counter aspect of things, growing our fields the best we can. We have a brand new card, Gala Greeters. This thing is insane. I actually passed up on this card at first because I didn't exactly understand it, and once I figured it out, it's amazing. If you can stack these, you get so much value. But every time a creature enters the battlefield, you get to pick one of these 3 things on the card. You either get to put 1/1 counter on the Greeters, you either get to gain 2 life, or create a tapped treasure token. I thought, okay, cool, you get a creature down, you get to pick one of these, that's whatever. No, if you can generate multiple creatures in 1 turn, you can pick up to all 3 of these in 1 single turn. And when you have these stacked, it gets crazy, believe me. And it works really well with Torrens because once a creature enters the battlefield, it triggers the Greeters. Torrens spits out a 1/1 soldier, triggers the Greeters, so on and so forth. And to get good card value and card draw in this deck, we added Welcoming Vampire for the card draw because we're spitting out a ton of creatures that are 2 power or lower. We've also got Skyclave Apparition for removal, Luminarch because it feeds into the 1/1 counter aspect of this super well. And then these are the new cards. These are the ones I want to talk about the most. Broker's Ascendancy is broken. This thing is insane. At the beginning of your end step, put a 1/1 counter on each of your creatures and an additional loyalty on any planeswalkers you have. Think about how busted that is. If you get one of these down and I have a field full of Torrens 1/1s and Balagan Greeters gaining us life and drawing cards, this thing is pumping the whole squad, including your planeswalkers loyalty. So if you stack these, you can alter planeswalkers pretty quickly. And lastly, we have a Wandering Emperor as a planeswalker as well. And if you spit out a 2/2 for -1 on this thing, you can continue doing that over and over and over. And this will just keep juicing up that 1 loyalty you lose every single turn. And your 2/2s that you're spitting out are now going to become 3/3s, 4/4s, 5/5s, the longer that they stay alive with the Broker's Ascendancy. This card is silly when you have a really good spread of planeswalkers and creatures. And Elspeth can grab it with its loyalty ability. And then lastly, we have Falco. This is going to be the mob boss of BANT, and it's really, really cool. It plays well with this deck as well because it gets a shield counter when it comes down. And you can also start playing things at the top of your deck as long as you're able to remove a counter of a sort off of one of your other creatures, which we will have plenty of counters to spare. So playing things at the top of our deck is not unlikely with the new Falco. So that's the deck in a nutshell. Enjoy the gameplay footage you're about to see. This thing was sweet, and we'll meet back here at the end for some final thoughts. Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are playing us some Elspeth today, and I'm so pumped about it because Elspeth is definitely one of my favorite planeswalkers of all time. And she's back, and she's got a pretty fantastic card, man. And we got ourselves caught up in a BANT deck today, and I didn't expect to be playing BANT this soon, but Elspeth plays really, really well with BANT. It has this shield counter type of a minus effect, and I can't argue with how well it plays with BANT. So that's what we're doing here today. We're jumping into BANT early. I thought for sure we'd be playing a little more Grixis, more Esper, really, you know, over a quick period of time for the first couple of videos, but it's all good. It all works out, I think. Broker's Ascendancy is a phenomenal card, but I think I am going to get down. You know what? We might just besage you here. No, let's get down another Greeters. These Greeters are going to get so much value for us over time. It's not even funny. I'm going to go ahead and get more treasure here, I think. Because we might want to besage you this Naturalist in the next turn or two, so having some treasure will be nice to spend as mana. All right. A triple Gala's Greetings is going to be wild. I've yet to hit that combo, and that sounds really good. Circle of Confinement, of course. There goes that opportunity. There goes the plan that I just discussed. Well, I guess I could just blow that up with the Seiju, couldn't I? I could. Let's give it a shot here. So let's create another treasure, or do we want to start putting some 1/1 counters on these bad boys, threatening these Jukai Naturalists? All right, let's take care of that Circle of Confinement. Boom, we got ourselves 2 more triggers here. I'm probably gonna go with the life gain on the one we just put the 1/1 counter on. 4 or 5, maybe 2 more treasures will do the trick, because 2 more treasures will just ensure that we can play both the Wandering Emperor and the Broker's Ascendancy, which is a really ridiculous combo, by the way. So let's treasure up, actually. Treasure up. 2 Jukai Naturalist is really annoying, though, because it makes things very inexpensive like that. All right, off to a bit of a crazy start. Okay, that's nice, though. That is nice. And then I can also Wandering Emperor. That's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet, I can't lie. I'm gonna go ahead and just put 1/1 counters on all of these here, because once the Ascendancy comes down too, these things are gonna get really, really big. All right, pass the turn. Still no attacks in here. I think playing defense is a smarter play. Wandering Emperor flashes in, then we minus on the, you know, the Kami, and then Ascendancy comes in and just absolutely destroys our opponent, hopefully. They found themselves another Hallowed Haunting. So I said hopefully as that came down, because that is a busted card, man. There's not a whole lot we can do about it other than our apparitions. All right, cool. That's even better. They don't attack in here, which leaves our Wandering Emperor the ability here to create a 2/2, which just helps with the Ascendancy as well. So let's create the 2/2. I like it a lot. And we can get back all those treasures we just lost. Maybe just do it like that. 1 treasure. Get everything up to a 3/3 here. Get a treasure. Keep things nice and clean and, you know, even. I like that. There's the Ascendancy. Let's drop the hopeful initiate. And let's go ahead and get ourselves more 1/1 counters. And then we'll gain some life here. This is gonna get out of hand really, really fast. Oh, but they destroyed the ascendancy. That's not nice, man. That is not nice. Well, we don't get to do all the cool stuff I wanted to do, unfortunately. But we do get to gain a lot of life. All right. I say we attack. Yeah, let's just get in their face. Get in their face. Start getting them really low on that life total. It's not great because our defense is kind of lackluster now with the... Okay, they scoop it up anyways. They just did not have the answer for that. Them being able to destroy our ascendancy, though, was pretty nasty. GG. All right, pretty solid first game. I mean, can't be too upset about that. I would have liked the ascendancy to just go crazy for us there, but, you know, it is what it is. I liked it. It was nice, clean, easy win. All right, we got ourselves a Gala into some other potential 2-drops. So I can definitely keep this even with the 2-land hand because the Gala will get us the treasures we need. That is if it doesn't get blown to smithereens. Opponents on some Selesnya colors. So I do like that. That means they're probably playing creatures as well. And I think I can kind of go toe-to-toe with that maybe. Don't tell me it's another enchantment deck, man. So tired of these enchantment decks. Get a new trick, bro. All right. Well, they do have to put the rune on their land, which is a very good sign. Means they kept a very poor hand. All right. I think we play the vampire as our obvious 3rd drop here, just so we can start spitting out some card draw. Actually, never mind. Gotta kill that thing. We saw how good that can be over time, making their stuff cheaper. Definitely going for treasure though. I want to make sure I ramp into my other spells here. I need to basically unload my hand as fast as possible. Once everything's on board, that's when the real value starts to occur. All right, Runeforge Champion's getting a rune, but do they have another land in order to cast said rune? No, they do not. Yeah, vampire it is, I think. I think vampire's the play here. Creating another treasure seems pretty fun. Can't really get through their defenses at the moment, so let's just keep spitting out treasures. Treasures are king. The problem with the treasures, though, is they come in tapped, which is pretty annoying, I can't lie. Would be really nice if they didn't do that. But beggars can't be choosers, so it's all good. I got the welcoming vampire, so we should be fine on mana from this point forward. I should be drawing into mana pretty regularly, so let's see what happens. So it's good to know, though, that the algorithm's going to pair me against all the rune decks and Selesnya decks tonight. Oh, brother. There goes my draw mechanic. That's pretty freaking sweet. Can't lie. But is that what we want? I think that's what we want. I think that's what we want. It might be able to grab us a free ascendancy, and now we have a planeswalker on the field, which is pretty sweet. Actually, that's fine. This gets a shield counter too. Why not? Keep spinning these treasure tokens out, man. We can't seem to draw land to save our lives, so why the heck not? We don't need any life, do we? No. Let's get bigger. If we don't need life, let's get bigger. And we have the shield counter too on the Skyclave, so we can actually bounce right off of a creature here on this block, which is so cool. And then now we got our vampire back, so hopefully we can continue drawing cards. That's a hopefully, because opponents got exiling effects. And we still haven't drawn land, which is so crazy and annoying. Come on, vampire, please save the day. Valorous stance can kill the Runeforge champion, which is phenomenal. God, gosh, man, they are just pumping this thing up with roids. All right, well, I am gonna have to make a block here. I was gonna say that was gonna be a block I did not want to make there. Surprised they didn't take advantage of that. Interesting.
Show me what you got.
Let's give it the life link here for this turn, and then what do we do? I would like to play the Valorous Stance, so let's play this out so we can draw a card. Hopefully hitting a land drop, because that's all I'm really caring about at the moment. Land drop, please. Yes, finally. Okay. Valorous Stance is online and ready to go. And our opponent should be pretty heartbroken about that, I can't lie. That's not exactly what they wanted to see there. I mean, there's hasty things though, right? So let's leave that back to block with. It's a really good blocker with that shield counter on it. So just in case they play something with haste. Dude, we are dominating right now, and we are playing terribly because we are so slow compared to what we normally would be had we been hitting our land drops. So they do get the Runeforge Champion, which means they can get a hasty rune, which I'm glad I put back the apparition to block. Pretty clutch. Elspeth is online, dude, just doing its thing right now, and I'm so excited, especially when I get 2 of these down next turn. This thing is gonna get ulted in no time. And opponent's not gonna be able to get through this line of defense once we get these down, man. Just not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. If we hit a land, I might consider playing one of them and then Emperor, but no, we don't get another one. So let's go here and give it Vigilance. By the way, these are counters, so they stack, and it's pretty wild. 2 Broker's Ascendancies, because why the heck not? Go over the top for 6, gaining 6, and here's where the nonsense begins, baby. Let's go! We put 2 counters on every creature, and we get 2 loyalty on Elspeth every single turn. GG's. All right, there's the skulls. The skulls? I didn't even say that right. I don't know what they think they can do here to stop what's about to roll through them. I guess they can gain life here with the Runeforge by attacking, but there's an 8/9 going over the top with lifelink next turn. So, I mean, yeah, you're dead, my friend. You're dead. We might see a head explode here, which is sad because I would like to maybe ult my Elspeth, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get the opportunity in this game. We're way too far ahead, and Elspeth is not going to get what it needs here. Oh, I see. Okay, so they're actually going to be able to continue playing these runes for free, and now they're getting the 1/1 counters from the visitor. They actually might be able to pull out another turn here. And I might not be able to block either with the vampire, which is pretty crazy. They must have found another... Oh, no. Okay, that makes sense. They're spreading out the life links. Got it, got it, got it. Rune of Speed? Sure. I don't know why they'd put it there. I guess to get the 1 extra damage, but they could have given it to the Jukai Naturalist. Alright, and that's the beauty of shield counters. That is the beauty, and there's the scoop. They didn't want to see any more of our nonsense, and I don't blame them. Feels bad, man. All right, well, apparently we have a pretty solid matchup against Runes, so it's like, kind of, do I want to see Runes match up again? Maybe. Maybe. This hand is a maybe too, by the way. I'm just going to keep it anyways because we go first. So turn 3 is not terrible, and then we got a turn 4 for some interaction, so I think this can work. I think it can work. Opponent's playing mono white. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Torn's looking pretty good, so is our Falco. Falco is going to be a really interesting play here. I like the fact that it has the shield counter. That's always a lot of fun. But it looks like they're running some exiling effects. Wandering Emperor being able to exile, that's going to be pretty key. All right, let's go and get the Falco in. It's really nice too because, like I said, the shield counter allows us to make a solid block here. Broker's Ascendance. Okay, well that's pretty darn good. I do think we need to prioritize the Wandering Emperor though. Wow, they're going to attack here. Interesting choice. Well, there goes their critter. I don't think they understood how that worked. All right, so now we get an Elspeth down. Love that. That changes things. Opponent making mistakes is always good with me. No attacks. Keep the blocks back. Protect Elspeth. And there's the scoop. They are utterly embarrassed by that attack they just made. Oh, poor fella. It's all good. I would have done something very similar, I'm sure, at some point, because these cards are new, man. You got to remember these cards are new, and some of these mechanics, like the shield, very much a new mechanic. So can't blame the opponent for making that mistake. Good starting hand here. We got a turn 2, 3, and then we start drawing cards, which is really helpful. Opponent not really giving us a whole lot with their sleeve choice. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day, by the way, man. I really appreciate you guys tuning into the channel today. Appreciate the, the support and viewing. New Cappena has been a lot of fun so far. We've got a lot to go still. Got a full week for you guys of cool deck ideas, and I'm really excited, man. All right, looks like another. Oh, it's not mono white. Okay, I was scared it was Azorius control for a second, but it looks like they're up to no good here. Opponent's up to no good with their enchantment stuff here. So blue though is what's really interesting. All right, I'm confused. I am confused, but amused. All right, let's go ahead and play Welcoming Vampire. Any creatures I play from this point forward is going to draw some cards. It looks like they might have a counter spell. They do. It's got the crab. Wow. Okay. Well, let's get in for some damage. We are the aggressor here for sure, but they are playing Mirror Shell Crab. Huh. Touch of the Spirit Realm is pretty annoying. I can destroy that later with the Hopeful Initiate, which is pretty cool. What the heck? Jack-o'-lantern. Sacrifice Jack-o'-lantern, exile up to one target card from a graveyard, draw a card. Add 1 mana of any color. What the actual? All right, we need to draw a Planeswalker. Elspeth obviously being the best one we can draw. Maybe there is an argument to be said for, having three Elspeths, because we really have wanted to draw it a few different times here. Torrents for sure. And then what's great is all these things, obviously, like we said before, they train and get bigger, and they also spit out more value as far as like creatures go. That's annoying. Okay, at least we get the Hopeful Initiate down, because this is going to be able to, like I said, blow up the Touch of the Spirit Realm. I do have to worry about sweepers still, because this does look like it is a control type of a shell. So Doomscar could definitely be something we need to worry about. Kind of shocked that they played that. Kind of shocked that they played that on that and not the Luminarch. Seems kind of weird. Of course they draw that. Why not? Out of all the top decks they could have hit, that's the one they pull.
My judgment is final.
All right, they're gonna draw a card. Nice. All right, definitely gonna cycle that away. Feels bad. Yikes. And it had to use both my white sources. Wow, unbelievable. All right, fair enough. End our turn. We are running out of value really quickly here, so let's hope our opponent doesn't find their draw spells before we find our second welcoming vampire, because we need some value. Elspeth obviously getting us a ton of value as well, so maybe if we can find that, that'd be cool. Search the library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand. Seems like I would have kept the creature over that, but I kind of want to hang on to that, and there's really no reason for us to cast it, so let's go and get Torrens in. No need to pump up Torrens as long as Luminar keeps getting bigger than Torrens. Torrens will eventually get bigger as well. And next turn we can Apparition the Touch of the Spirit Realm away and get ourselves another 1/1 training. They are getting a lot of lands, which I can appreciate, but how long is that going to last? No, Alexa, stop. What in the world? This thing just turns on like randomly. I don't even think I said anything close to that. Oh boy. All right. Let's do this. Can't channel this just yet. Still need a little bit more. Get in there. That's a lot of damage. That puts them within the range of lethal next turn. This has been a pretty, honestly, kind of a boring game. It was pretty straightforward, very linear. Opponent did answer a lot of our stuff at the beginning, but kind of fell flat at the end. They ran out of value, man. They just ran out of gas. But oh well. All right. I mean, we're on quite the roll right now. Like, feels pretty unstoppable at the moment. Pretty unstoppable, but I don't know. I don't think we've seen enough yet. I'm afraid of certain decks and certain cards. One of the cards I'm afraid of the most is Nyxalis. That card is so busted right now. I do not want to see that card, but it's just a matter of time, because prior to the recording, I ran into Nyxalis in like every other game. I was playing a different deck though, so you know how the algorithm works, man. They throw you different matchups depending on the deck you're playing, so what can you do? Got a pretty good hand here though. Ugh, that's gonna get their initiate a little bit bigger, which means that they can attack in now. Feels bad. All right, we'll probably play the Welcoming Vampire first and then Skyclave something after that. I'm sure the Hopeful Initiate will be pretty big. Okay, hold on here. They offer the trade there, which I will take. All right, and they didn't hit a third land drop here, which means that there's a good chance that they can't Brutal Cathar me this turn or Apparition. So I like my chances with this Vampire surviving. We've yet to get any sort of card value from it, so I'm hoping that this will be the game that we can pull that off. Really hope so. All right, cool. That'll be what we grab with the Apparition for sure. We've got a 2/3 to block with now too. That's a good top deck too. Apparition, draw ourselves a card, steal you. And the value train just, you know, goes off from this point. We start to go ham. Do I play more defensively though right now, or do we really kind of send it on them? I think we play defensively for now. I could attack in with the Welcoming Vampire, but I like having it back to defend against the Hopeful Initiate. It can't even come in and attack against us right now, so it's really nice. Well, now they're in Brutal Cathar range as well as Skyclave Apparition, so they're looking to figure out which target to take. Nice, they take my Apparition. I actually am glad that was the case. Now we can Apparition again. Plus we have the Greeters. The Greeters is going to get us a lot of value. Greeters comes down. We draw a card. Love that. Love that. And let's do the... Let's get this thing thick. Let's get this thing thick. Take some life. All right, now I don't mind attacking in a little bit here. Getting a little more aggressive. Now we have a 3/3 body to, you know, put in front of some things. Let's go, baby. Oh, interesting. You're gonna get me some tradables here, huh? Good play though. I didn't even think about the double block there. That was pretty silly that I didn't consider that, but well played on their part. All right, Falco coming in hot. Falco can be an engine in its own way with all the card draw that it can generate, but it doesn't actually trigger the Welcoming Vampire. It's like the only creature that doesn't in our deck. So another apparition. Okay, so we're having an apparition off here. They take the draw engine. See, that was smart. That's what they should have done the first time. We find another one though. Let's play this first. See what comes off the top of our deck. Like I said, we're getting this bad boy thick. Torrens is on top. That's not the card. No, let's hold them back. We just saw how dangerous the double blocks can actually be against us, so let's just wait a minute here. Brutal Cathar, they're gonna take the Falco, I'm sure. Yep, that's fine though. I honestly think I'd rather have the Greeters anyways. All right, we're gonna go here first, and then we're gonna Torrent so we can draw a card. And let's gain some more life. I think life gain obviously being very helpful here in this particular matchup. All right, we can go ahead and attack now, I think, because no matter what, we're getting a 2-for-1 special on this one, even if they double block. So the value is there. Plus we have another one down here. I think we got this one. I think we got this one locked down in the bag, baby. Thalia. Elite Spellbinder. Now they're gonna know my tricks, my little trickery. My Seat of the Empire is no longer a surprise. All right, let's draw some cards, create some training. Okay, interesting. Let's gain some more life. Let's attack in first here and see what our opponent wants to do, and then I can drop down the seat, drop the seat down on him. You know what I'm saying? Cause some ruckus. See, the difference between the mono white list and our list is this guy right here. This guy is doing work. It's getting us that life gain, that 1/1 counter stuff. It's nice. It's very nice. I'm a big fan of BANT right now. I can't lie. BANT's in a pretty sweet spot. I love that they're really focusing and hammering this set on, you know, the allied colors of like BANT and Naya. Those don't get enough love. And now that we kind of are forced to get these, you know, triple colored, you know, Naya and BANT cards, you know, you're forced to play it. That's pretty interesting that they decided not to make any blocks there when I'm sitting at 22. They see the seed, which means that they attack in. They say oops. I don't know if they mean that literally oops or if that's like the trash talking oops. You never really know these days. Okay, it was a sincere oops. Got it. They realized they should have blocked. All right, on to the next one. Let's go, dude. I need to get some more Elspeth action. I need it. I need it in my life. If we don't get another Elspeth here, I'm probably gonna make another Elspeth deck after this one. And I have an idea in mind for another Elspeth deck, and it's a little bit of a Mardu situation. All right, Mr. Hopeful, go in there. Go in there and be my 1-2 savior. Man, this chair is so uncomfortable. It is killing my legs right now. All right, what do we got? Ooh, is this going to be that Esper aggro deck? I've been seeing a lot of that. Oh, it's control. That's not good. That is very bad. I might cycle this. That's why I'm not playing it on turn 2 here. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, it's angels. Okay. Very confused I am, but you know what? We're getting through it. We're working through it together. So Blood Chief's Thirst, so they're like a mid-rangey angel deck. They're running some removal, which is strange. Let's reread this card really quick though. It says each other angel you control enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it. For each angel you control, add mana, spend this to cast angel spells. Wow. And they get a Legion Angel out of the gate. That's not good. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not good. All right, we have a Welcoming Vampire on top of our deck, which is pretty spicy because once I play the Welcoming Vampire, is it when I cast or when it enters the battlefield? It's whenever I cast. Shoot. It'd be honestly, this card would be a little better if it said if a creature enters the battlefield, because then if this enters the battlefield, it would actually then trigger the draw step. But unfortunately, it's not the case. All right. Another Legion Angel. I don't know if we can beat this deck, to be honest, because they've got a pretty cool situation here. No attacks. Gosh darn it. Alright, well, we're going to be removing a counter off of this so we can get ourselves another card draw, and it's a land off the top. Feels bad. I do like that we have the Soaring City, though, as a bounce spell here, so we're not out of the woods yet. Like, we're not dead yet, so you never know. You never know. We're probably dead. We're probably dead. Angels is pretty overpowered right now, man. Everyone's running it in Esper right now, too, which is pretty cool, I can't lie. Man, this card is like, it's on the must kill list. The moment this thing hits the field, it is on the must kill list for sure. The fact that they were able to find that one Legion Angel on their deck too absolutely triggers me. All right, well, they can only kill one of these. Which one are they going to kill? Are they going to kill the Vampire or the Falco? Either way, I get pretty decent value out of either one, so all right. All right. Cycle this away. Let's go here. Probably going to gain some life. I think gaining life is probably the most important thing I can do. And then, yeah. Nothing I can really do here, man. Nothing I can do here. In any other situation, this board state that I've created here would be enough to just absolutely overrun my opponents and smash them into oblivion, but this particular instance, not the case. And we know our next card off the top is a land, which means we're gonna have to cycle this away, which means we use 3 mana. And if we don't find like an apparition off the top, we're probably done. We're probably done for. Infernal Grasp, and that'll do it. That'll do it. Ugh. Good game. Man, I'm getting tired. I'm tired. I'm recording this very late. GG. All right. One more. Let's get one more good game in here. I need one more game. All right. One last game for the road. We've been doing so well with this deck. It is definitely performing and doing a very good job at competing. So I'm gonna be a little sad when we have to put this one down, just like the last deck. Both of these first two decks that we've tried out have been pretty good for us, man. I get to go first. This is fine. This is fine. If we could find something with, you know, power 2 or less, Welcoming Vampire could start gaining us some value. Oh, they're a very fast deck though, so the stance is pretty irrelevant. But we get a Greeters. We do get a Greeters, my friends. And the Greeters does get us life. Another little goblin. Another goblin, buddy. We might as well meet aggression with aggression. They are Boros though, which is kind of different. Kind of a little different path. It is a different path. What in the world are we looking at here? This is a wizard that says whenever it attacks, it gains flying until the end of turn. If you creature with flying, it's the same as true for first strike. Okay. All right, well, we'll definitely kill this sucker. And we'll play this for white. White is the one we need the most of. We'll play the Falco, which will then gain us another 2 life. Takes care of that problem. Ooh, these actually do a really good job of dealing with the Falco's, you know, shield counters. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder if they're going to be upset about that. All right, let's go Hopeful Initiate. Gain 2 life. Another Initiate. We want 1 counter. Beseju can still be cast for 2, which is a phenomenal thing because we can blow up the Lizard Blades if they want to equip. So we are going to give them land though, which is never a good thing, but in this particular situation, it's not terrible because they are an aggro deck. They're going to unload their hand anyways. All right, you're dead. And then how do we block here? Do we block? We probably don't even block, right? I mean, taking 4 is fine. We're gaining 2 life every turn. We're down to 17, so not the end of the world at all. And then we'll replay a new Falco here, a fresh one, which will then gain us more life. Whoops, I did not mean to choose that one. I literally went to scroll up and my hand slipped. That is annoying. That is annoying. My hand completely slipped and I clicked it. Oh, I meant to click the other Falco and have a good blocker here, but now we got to figure out how to dance around this. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. We would have a really good blocker right now if I didn't screw that up. Wow. Talk about a yikes moment, huh? All right, well, I can give indestructibility to one of my creatures, and I just dropped down a Broker's Ascendance. So we're in business. What does this thing do? It says haste, and whenever deals combat damage to a player, if it doesn't have an indestructible counter on it, put it in this. Okay, got it. I remember that card. All right, see how we wanted to play this. Let's go with you here. You here. Blow up. That doesn't make any sense. This is tricky. This is very, very tricky. Okay, so Valorant Stance blows something up. It's gonna blow up the 5/5, obviously. You know, land off the top is not what I want to see here. Taking 6 damage. Man, that's not good. That's not good, but you know what? It's the best we've got for now. Opponent goes up a lot of life, but they are down to just a couple of 1/1s here. And we've got some big bodies here to block with, thanks to the Broker's Ascendancy. We should be able to recover from this just fine. Nice. That's some life gain right there. We should be able to recover just fine. Thanks to my stupid misclick that I had earlier, but just, I mean, the Brokers, come on. The Broker's Ascendancy is the most broken thing ever. Like, that's crazy. All right. That's annoying, but we can work with it. Not enough, my friend. Not enough. I don't know why. I don't know why they thought it was enough, but just keep on pumping them up. Keep pumping them up. Keep protecting the life total. I am afraid of hasty things. That right there is a 5/5 first strike whenever warrior control attacks alone. Untap it first count. Okay, got it. You're gone. That's a great card because now whatever I top deck will be enough for me to draw a card in most cases. So everything's gonna get a 1/1 counter now, so we can start attacking in and getting a little bit of damage through here. Because now our greeters are gonna become a 6/6 thanks to the Ascendant. Uh-oh, what does that do? Equip for 1 and it gives, oh gosh, 2/0. Oh no, that's a lot of text that I don't really feel like reading. And they're gonna take out my greeters. Wow. Well, they did their job. We got up to 6. I didn't expect them to be able to draw anything to pump up their adversary, but here we go. All right, definitely gonna shoot. Why did I not think of this before? Guys, this is misplay of the year. Oh man, I could have killed the sword prior to it's fine. It worked out. We're getting so lucky. We are misplaying hard, man. Sorry that you guys had to see some of these misplays. Holy cow. We're gonna leave creatures back to block, obviously, because of haste. So that's why we didn't swing in with everybody here. I could have blown that up this whole time. I could blow that up too, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, I still can't believe I did that because I could have had another, you know, the greeters and I could have gotten more life gain, but instead I had to be silly. Flying in haste if a spell would deal damage to you, okay. If it would deal damage to you, prevent that damage, and then that much damage except for 1 more instead against me. Okay. So I think I like this here and this. And what's great about this is that not only does it trigger that and the card draw, on top of that, we start gaining loyalty as well with the Broker's Ascendancy. So that's pretty awesome. They say good game and they scoop it up. I am so tired. If you couldn't tell by that last game and how badly I played it with the Hopeful Initiate, but holy cow, I'm glad we got through that. I'm glad we did as well as we did. Only took one loss, I think, but we're going to break this thing down and talk about it a little bit. So we'll see you on the other side. Peace. That is going to conclude today's gameplay portion of the video. I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. BANT is not something we get to play a whole lot of usually on the channel, so I'm really happy we got a chance to do it, and we got to do it with some style, with some planeswalkers, and you know, the new Elspeth is obviously amazing. Love that card, and I regret not putting a third one in the deck. I have one and I should have just done it, but I thought it might have been a little too hard to cast for 5, but I digress. We're gonna break this thing down in a moment here, but before I do that, I did just want to say a huge shout out and thank you to everyone who's made it this far into the video. I do appreciate that so much. It does help a lot with the YouTube algorithm, so thanks for staying this long. Appreciate that support, and I'm really glad you enjoyed the video enough to do so. Talking about the deck, well, I think the synergies in this deck are phenomenal. I think this deck plays so well synergistically together. Valorant Stance came in clutch for us in a few spots for removal and you know indestructibility. A couple misplays at the end obviously really screwed myself over, missing the initiate triggers and stuff like that. Ultimately, I do want to add one more Elspeth in the deck. I think there were a couple of spots, more so than I would like to admit, that I would have really loved to draw one, and we just didn't have it yet because we only have 2 in the deck. So upping that to a third Elspeth would be pretty awesome. The rest of the deck played phenomenally. I actually had a pretty cool idea that I tried to do early on. The deck started out as one thing and really morphed into a brand new thing. The later, the more and more I kept playing it and play testing it. And early on, early on, we did have Olenbach in the deck. And Olenbach is an apparition type of effect. It's a 1/2 creature that comes in and is able to exile other creatures every single time this thing trains. And it works really well with this deck because it trains almost every time, because we are just putting 1/1 counters every which way you look. So it was in the spot of the apparition, and it didn't have a whole lot of support prior to the initial build. And so it got cut, but I'd actually be interested to see how it would perform with this final build and how everything looks. I wouldn't mind trying Olenbach in Skyclave's position now. I just don't think it had enough support prior, because in the original deck list that I built, it had we had the BANT charm and all sorts of other things that we were trying to do. And let me just tell you, it was pretty trash. But once I finished it and really honed in on what worked and didn't work, this thing has been phenomenal. I mean, you guys saw we only dropped 1 game, and I mean, yeah, it outperformed itself more so than I thought it would. Also, I would say that if you are going to play this deck and you want to make some tweaks to it, maybe a little bit more removal could be pretty good, because we saw how good Valorant Stance is. I did consider pretty early on playing Fateful Absence as a removal spell. Just as a nice little 2-drop remove anything, because we've been seeing a lot of Obnixiluses, and this does kill, those. It does kill Planeswalkers, which is really nice for 2, but we do give up the fact that we do give them a draw card, which I don't really like. Also, Sunset Revelry could be a pretty cool card if you're struggling with aggro decks. This could spit out 2 1/1 humans, which could trigger, obviously Gala. It can trigger, Welcoming Vampire. So this thing could be pretty awesome. And it gains you a bit of life, draws you a card. So a lot of value in that as well. A couple of things that I thought about trying and didn't do, obviously. So Sunset and Fateful. But ultimately, I'm going to leave the rest to you guys. If you guys have any ideas on how to make this thing any better, just leave it in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on what you think of the deck and how you think it could play a little bit better. But ultimately, side note, we could not give me so much of a hard time for the last few misplays. I know I made them. I'm working on it. I'm tired, my bad. But that's gonna do it, guys. That'll end today's video, conclude the video, and we'll be back here tomorrow. We're gonna be back here tomorrow and the next day and the next day We're gonna do daily content for a little while the new set's fresh, and after that we'll reevaluate the schedule and see where we're at. But also we go live every Wednesday night. If you guys don't know, we go Wednesday night live here on YouTube, so be sure to turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on that as well. But before I hop out of here, as always, huge shout out goes finally to the Marty Mob, guys. Thank you so much for being part of the Marty Mob and being part of this great membership program here on the channel. And thanks for supporting the channel, man. It means a lot. I know you guys, you know, don't have to do that, and so I appreciate you helping me along the way with that support. So if you guys want to learn more about what the Marty Mob is, you can hit that join button down below or a link in the description on the membership program here. You can read all about it, decide if you want to join from there. But thanks for the people who have joined. Really appreciate your support, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Till next time, peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Spez, you know Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the Mythic, yeah, that's magic. Yeah, MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. Where's the upload, man? Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap.